welcome to episode 25 of CRASHTON Talks. This is a solo episode obviously today. I'm going to chat a wee bit about some stuff that I've been thinking about. The main reason I've decided to do this is I got a new microphone, so I'm just testing it out to see if it's any good. It's called a Marantz Umpire Pro, so we'll see. Yeah, what have I been doing? Just recording music. I've been spending a lot of time at Unit 55 in Cumbernauld recording with Andy O'Dell. Andy, I've known Andy since like high school, and been involved in like a few projects with him. My wedding band, Transit Jukebox, Andy used to like drive us all to the gigs. Like, he's got a van and stuff. He used to drive us to the gigs, and he would hire his PA and his van off him and stuff. So yeah, he's like been quite an integral part of my more recent music career. He runs a great studio in Cumbernauld called Unit 55. So if anyone is from like Scotland or looking for a decent studio, Andy's where it's at. He's got like the fucking best of best stuff, and he's a fucking phenomenal engineer. Feels like I'm doing an ad or something. I feel so out of shape with this stuff, man. I felt like I was in the swing of it about, I don't know, 6 months, maybe 8 months ago. Felt like I was really getting somewhere with it, felt confident with it, and I don't know, I just feel like totally lost interest, not just in this, but in music as well. Like, it's all just, I don't know, crazy. I just done like a live stream on Facebook, not like a live stream, I done an actual live stream on Facebook, and it was alright, but the main reason I done it was to try and build up my kind of stamina again, because it was so out of shape, like my voice. Like, I've been playing guitar a lot through all of this, but not really singing. I tried to do like I done a rehearsal a few days ago, and like my voice just didn't last at all. And I used to be able to sing, like if I was doing like a solo acoustic gig, I'd be singing like 45 minutes. So my voice was like, by the end of those gigs, like I wouldn't be out of shape or anything. Like, I could still continue singing. And then when I was doing the wedding band, I was singing like 3.5 hours a night, which, if you think about it, like most like really big artists, like Sam Smith or fucking like Adele or something, like these powerhouse singers, they are, when they go out and they play a show, like they're probably only playing like an hour and a half at a time. And then just guys that are from these fucking small towns are going out and playing 3.5 hour sets. So you build up like this fucking callus in your throat that just you're able to maintain that level of performance. But yeah, I've been really fucking out of shape with it. So I've decided what I'm going to do is probably treat like the Facebook Live thing as a gig in some way, like not the way people have been doing it, just sort of for me, where I'll do like 45-minute sets on my Facebook just to try and build up my voice again. No one will care. No one even cares right now that's watching this, and that's fine. I've kind of been looking at the whole podcasting and my music career has been more of a sort of self-indulgent thing. I've gotten really bad at talking to people, not just because of the pandemic, but just in general. Like, I think when you end up having a family, well, for me, I've just become a bit of a recluse, and I go to talk to people like I'm talking to my son. Like, hiya, how you doing? Like some fucking CITV presenter or something. So I've always kind of hoped that the podcast would help me with that. Such a weird thing as well, isn't it? Like, just putting your face and your voice into the ether, and it gets lost. But like someday, like, imagine the assumption is that like if aliens were to come here, or like say like the human race get wiped out, right? And like say like 1,000,000 years from now, they discover that our society existed, everyone assumes that it's going to be like, they'll find the best programs. Like they're going to find films. They'll find like the best films. Like they'll find Star Wars and all that shit. Or they'll find like if they're going to find the best podcast, they'll find like Joe Rogan or something. But what if they find this? You know what I mean? What if just for some reason this is the one that they find, and then this becomes like some fucking Van Gogh thing? You know what I mean? That was the thing. That was the podcast. It was just a guy talking into a camera. And this is the one they find. Just the same as like they might not find fucking Mission Impossible 3, you know what I mean? They'll probably find some guy's fucking college project that he handed in in fucking 1993. Just a guy talking to a rhino for 3 hours. A big fake polystyrene rhino. Why do they not make films like that? You ever noticed? Like, films are just like, who was it that said it? Was it Martin Scorsese said like that Marvel films are basically like just going to a theme park, which is kind of true, isn't it? Like they're just, films are made now with the intention that you're going to turn up and enjoy yourself. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like who says that's what a fucking film is? Like if you've ever seen American Psycho, like that's the total opposite of what the experience of going to the cinema is now. Like American Psycho is fucking so uncomfortable from start to finish. Same with Clockwork Orange, like just really uncomfortable films to watch. But yet the expectation now is that you just have these fucking like incredible, huge production films, but then they're probably made with the intention of profiting. But I would love to see like imagine you went to the cinema, right? Imagine it was Avengers 16, and you turn up and there's a guy wearing like a what do you call it, like a fucking Captain America suit off of Amazon, and he's talking to a big massive coloured in polystyrene Hulk. Just a big polystyrene cut out of the Hulk. It's just been coloured in green. But it's not like a fucking, it's not like a college production. It's Marvel Studios have actually put it out, and you have to sit through 3.5 hours of this guy just fucking going at it with a big polystyrene cut out of the Hulk. I would fuck. That's the kind of Marvel film that I would watch. Do you know what I mean? I'm so sick of fucking everything. Like I loved Star Wars growing up. My dad was a projectionist in basically all the big cinemas around Glasgow and sort of the surrounding areas as well. Like he worked in basically all of them. So growing up, like I was constantly exposed to these big films. Like I'm sure it was Titanic and Flubber were out at like the same time. And I've seen both of those films about fucking 60 times. And like Star Wars became like, probably for a lot of people, like I don't know why I don't have any sort of like different relationship to Star Wars than probably the average person, but I think because my dad was a projectionist and I associated him with film, I felt like really connected to film. So like Star Wars to me was like my fucking religion. Do you know what I mean? So when I was young, like I had all the toys and I just thought about Star Wars all the time. And now, like my stepson is the exact same with Star Wars, and I don't know. I just like, apart from like the Mandalorian, I think that's probably something to like chant about. But the rest of it just seems so, I don't know, maybe it's just having perspective as being a parent now, is like you see these companies making films with the intention of grabbing the attention of like young kids or like people in general. So you watch it play out, and then like, these people make adverts to entice you, and then you see the people being enticed, and it's like you just see the whole machine working. And I don't know, I just kind of, it's like, It's like seeing the nicest chocolate cake and then you bite into it and it's like there's too much chocolate. Do you know what I mean? Like shove some fucking hot dog in there. Give me a fucking hot dog cake. You know what I mean? I wish this was a fucking two-way conversation. It'd be nice to know how some folks are. If anyone's even listening. What have I been thinking about? Refer to your notes guys, if you're struggling. I wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to that not even I wanted to talk about, just like sometimes I get these ideas in my head that I think about and I think I could tell Katie that, but I'm looking at Katie and she just seems stressed out about something because we're trying to deal with our day-to-day lives, and I think if I tell her this she's just going to get annoyed, or just be like, why are you telling me that? So the thing I wrote down is, how come when you were younger you couldn't swim in games, right? So just imagine my day-to-day life, right? Caleb's just bouncing off the walls. We're trying to get ready, trying to get Lois ready for school. Caleb's bouncing off the walls, and Katie's stressed out as she fucking should be because I'm just as bad as the kids. So she's trying to sort everyone out, and I'm thinking, like, that's what I'm thinking. Katie's always wondering, like, what you're thinking. That's what I'm thinking, is how come when you were younger you couldn't swim in games? Like, that thought has occupied my brain for probably about 3 or 4 months, just thinking about it, because it's so true, man. Like, I was playing COD, and you can jump in the water and shoot people in the water. But when I started playing COD, if you fell in the water, you die. That's you fell off the map. If you fell in the water, you fell off the map. But like, why though? You know what I mean? Why? Like, what was so hard about making swimming graphics? Because there was games that were dedicated to swimming, or not, maybe not swimming, but like Echo the Dolphin was a game that was it was based in the sea. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was what was that game? A Donald Duck game. Sure, it was like a Donald Duck game back in the day, and it was like some of it was set in the water. Like, you'd be on land, then you'd be in water, and then how come like later on, like Grand Theft Auto, you go in the water and you die? You know what I mean? Not Grand Theft Auto 5, but like San Andreas and stuff. I'm sure if you went in the water, it would kill you. I don't know. It was just a thought. But yeah. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that little burp? I hope this mic picked that up. Little frog noise. So I fully plan on releasing music in the next few months. I've been saying for ages, but I've been trying to collate all these ideas that I've had over the years. The track that I recorded with Andy from Unit 55 is a song that I wrote probably about like 8 years ago when I was in Fluorescent Hearts, but it kind of took a backseat. I wrote it around the same time as this song called Guide You Home, which became like online, became like our most kind of popular song because it was like the video with the most views and had the most downloads and stuff. It was just obvious that Guide You Home was at that time a better song than this one, and I think just stylistically the way that I played this other song just wasn't there. Like, it was on the cusp of being a really good idea, but just never fucking came to fruition. So I dug it out of the records when this opportunity to go and record with Andy came up, and it's really like totally reshaped the song and made it sound fucking big and powerful. And I put a clip up on the Patreon, and Colin, who's one of the patrons, was like saying that it's reminded him a lot of Fluorescent Hearts, and I completely agree with that kind of thing. But there's some other stuff that I'm recording with Gary just now. That some of it I wrote when I was recording with Demo a few years ago. Yeah, I get so inside my head when I'm talking. Got like a million things going on. But yeah, I hope I just want to get the music out. Gary keeps saying to me about like releasing one song and then waiting a while and releasing another song, but I would happily release like a 20-track album just so that it's out there. Just want like, I don't know, it's been building. I've been recording for like a year and it's been building all this fucking angst in me that I just want to get out. So yeah, I'm going to stop boring myself and you to tears. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back next week with another guest, and hopefully going to do some more of these, some solo ones, and probably have some more topics to talk about. Like, I don't even know I don't want to be like the news guy, you know what I mean? Like, people listen to podcasts because they're like, that's where I get my information. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like podcasts, even fucking my favourite podcasts are all becoming these like basically like reaction videos. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I like some of that stuff. Like, I've spoken before about some people that do like reaction channels and that sort of thing, and they make it really funny and stuff, but like podcasting's just becoming like the news basically. It's like people commentating on what's going on in the news. It's just so fucking boring, man. So I don't want to be. I'm not going to be the current events guy. Maybe I could be the opposite of that. Maybe I'll report on things that have happened like 10 years ago as if it's just happened. Do you know what I mean? Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross have been caught up in a stink because they phoned the guy from Fawlty Towers. They phoned him to talk about his granddaughter. It's an absolute disgrace. Would that be good? Would you be interested in that? Let's do that, right? Let's pull up news 10 years ago. Let's see. BBC on this day. Let's see. Oh, fucking hell. I can't comment on that. Jesus Christ. So pretty intense stuff. Where is it? Wait a minute. I'm just having a look for these news articles. Jesus. The year is 1983 and hundreds have died in Istanbul violence. There we go. It's all like horrendous. What's that? 1962. US spaceman orbits Earth. John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, lands safely in the Atlantic Ocean. Imagine tuning into the news pre-moon landing, finding out some guy had been into space, man. That's crazy. Let's read this article. The first American to orbit the Earth has landed safely in the Atlantic Ocean. Marine Lieutenant John Glenn, 40, travelled about 81,000 miles as he circled the globe 3 times at more than 17,000 miles per hour. Lieutenant Glenn controlled nearly 2 of the orbits himself after reporting minor difficulties with the automatic altitude control system. I know exactly what that is. As he completed the 3rd circuit, the maximum anticipated. Messages from the astronaut were transmitted by radio stations across the United. Like, it's just basically like that's what Elon Musk is doing on a Tuesday, but this was like front page news in 1962. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? It's mad. I seen something recently that was like talking about how your phone is like more complex than the most complex computer in like 1940. You know what I mean? Which obviously sounds like that should be accurate, but it's just crazy to think that, because like those computers were basically like a full room size just to just to like you would dial in a couple of numbers. You dial in a couple of numbers and the thing would fart or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like a really complex computer. You'd go and it go you go to the other end, like where you would go to get like a print of paper or something. You go to the other side, it goes and then a wee tongue comes in and goes. It's just all that machinery, but like millions of pounds worth of machinery just to create a fucking fart. Aye, and now we've got phones that basically the same thing. Anyway, I'm going to head off because I'm just literally talking rubbish. This is really interesting though. I would listen to a podcast that was just about historical events, like reading them as if they've just happened. Do you know what I mean? What was the top one there? 1986. So this is all stuff that happened on this day, on different years. The Soviets open a new phase in space exploration with the launch of the world's biggest space station. So is that the space station? Is that the International Space Station? I don't think it is it? Who knows? Right, anyway, I'm going to head. Thank you for tuning in and take care of yourselves. We're coming out of lockdown now. It's good times. There's going to be good times ahead. There's going to be a big fucking party. Everybody's going to be partying. Have fun, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.